So I know what you're all thinking. Jeff, seriously, you're going to talk about IGN again? Well, yes, we are. Because, well, I also see people on the internet are going to be like, you're going to bitch about someone having their opinion? Aren't you whining about their whining of them having a bad opinion and having a bad opinion on this game? Well, you see, there's a difference. There's having an opinion, and it might be an adverse opinion to what the general opinion of something is, you see. And then there's having a bad opinion that is supported by bad facts, in the fact that the person has zero clue what they're talking about, and that's where I come in. And this is where IGN's review of The Defenders comes in. Yes, we're talking about a TV show, but, well, technically a Netflix show, but it's on IGN, so I'm still calling it close enough to gaming. And this is where Daniel Krupa comes in, a name I have heard once or twice on IGN, but typically he's not around too much. And his review of The Defenders is possibly the most off-base, just piece of crap review I have seen on IGN in a long time. This could be worse than the Doom review, and probably worse than Dan Stapleton's just complete crap opinion, whatever the heck you want to call that, for his Prey review before he finally fixed it. But Daniel Krupa's review of Marvel's The Defenders is so off base, and it shows that he had absolutely no clue what he was talking about. I'm not even sure if he knows how a TV show actually works, because as we see in the very first episode, which he scores a 5.5, by the way, he's talking about how The Defenders' first episode is slow-paced. The Luke Cage getting out of prison, it totally undermines the end of Luke Cage, and how such a powerful moment that was. Well, you see, Daniel, Luke Cage can't defend a prison cell too well. So yeah, from the sounds of things, his time's over. He's just getting out of prison, and Foggy is there to just talk him through, get him out of prison. It's his time's up. He's done. He's not getting out early for some unknown reason. Just because Foggy says, hey, I got you, let's get out. It sounds like his time's over. He's done his time, and now Foggy's just there to finish up the paperwork. I don't see the deal here, Krupa. What's the problem? Sounds perfectly fine to me. And then he talks about how Danny Rand, he's in Cambodia, I believe, at the very beginning of The Defenders, down some Southeast Asian country. I thought it was Cambodia, but might have been Laos or something. But he's trying to find a guy who can help the fight against the Hand, and he gets killed. And of course, Krupa sees this as, well, now he's just flying back to New York, spends the entire episode on the plane, even though Danny's having flashbacks to the first season of Iron Fist on the plane and whatnot. And he's a billionaire. He's doing billionaire things. He's flying around on a helicopter, flying around on a plane. The very first episode of The Defenders is just basically showing everyone doing their shtick. Daredevil's hung up his horns and is trying to be a public defender. Jessica Jones is getting drunk. What's the deal here? It's the first episode, buddy. Calm your tits. Everybody's doing their thing. You're not going to get the Defenders in the first episode. I think anybody with half a brain will know pacing and see that it's going to take time for them to get introduced to each other and start working as a team. And then the next big point I do want to talk about with this review, if you feel comfortable calling it that, is his review of the finale, which, spoiler alerts here, There's going to be a lot of spoilers with this since this is the finale. And Krupa gives the finale of the Defenders a 4.9. Oh, buddy. Wow, this is the highlight here. He talks about how the storylines get too convoluted and confusing. It's tedious and riddled with potholes and forgettable fight sequences. It's not potholes, that's Cincinnati. But forgettable fight scenes and confusing storylines that... Listen, if these storylines confused you, you probably shouldn't be watching TV shows, because there was nothing confusing about the final storylines here. So here's your big spoilers. Elektra kills Alexandra, the big bad of the Defenders, because she's finally figured out, I think, remembered who she was after getting revived. And she naturally, Elektra is a very power-hungry character who doesn't give a crap what you are. She does what she believes is best for herself. She kills Alexandra, sorry. She wants all of the hands, they call it the quote-unquote substance, for herself, basically, because she needs it to basically just keep reviving herself, and she can live essentially forever, like the other hand, the fingers of the hand, as they called them. And of course, she wants it for herself. She kills Alexandra. She is now basically the leader of the hand, and she's doing what she wants for herself. The problem is, when she mines the substance, it's going to basically cause New York City to collapse. So the Defenders want to stop the Hand and Elektra from doing this. Beginning, end, that's it. What more do you need? The 4 Defenders have put their storylines that all basically got them against the Hand aside for the greater good. That's it. That's the Defenders right there. Elektra want bad stuff to collapse, that will collapse city. Defenders want stop. Beginning, end, that's literally it. How you get that confused is beyond me. It's not difficult. That's the plan. What's more, while the actual plan of the Hand has been fuzzy throughout the... Daniel! That is your name, right, Daniel? I keep thinking it's Daniel or Joseph. Yes, Daniel. Krupa! They have talked about it millions of times. One thing I did forget to point out, the Hand wants to somehow return to Kunlun, I believe is what it's called, which is from the Iron Fist. They want to return there, but getting there is going to supposedly possibly take them like 1,000 years to do. So they need to mine that substance, which will collapse New York City. How you don't understand this is beyond me. And someone in the comments would say binge watching is for reviews is apparently bad, since apparently he must have fallen asleep or something. I mean, I watched the first 5 episodes back to back to back to back to back, and then I watched the last 3 a few hours later. So even I figured this out. This wasn't rocket science. So I, honest to God, do not believe Daniel Krupa he had no clue what the hell was going on. If he watched the entirety of this show, I mean, how you came up with this review, this score, is beyond me. Is the Defenders as good as, say, Daredevil Season 1 or Daredevil Season 2, or even Jessica Jones, which I really liked as well? I don't think so, but I'd put it even ahead of Luke Cage. I think it was a pretty good show, but it's not 4.9 bad. And when your 4.9 bad review for the season finale is talking about crap like this, I, honest to God, don't understand how you're writing for IGN, but again, it's IGN, so maybe that explains it. But IGN has been all over the place with a lot of their reviews for TV shows, so I don't get it. I don't get why they even bother with TV shows, because I think the only ones that have been on point were the Daredevil reviews. And maybe Jessica Jones. I haven't looked at those in a while. But I remember for Daredevil, I agreed with like every single review of every episode they talked about. But for this, there's no way Krupa watched the entirety of the show and got this, just got this score, got this opinion. He was all over the place on all of these reviews. I only agreed with like one of them. And I just don't think he has a basic understanding of plot development, pacing, and, well, apparently paying attention to a story. So I don't get it. I don't know. Bad review, bad IGN, bad.